Hi everyone, Kate here with another Victober video. So you will have seen, or maybe, in your subscription feed, if you haven't watched it yet, I did a wrapping up of my last year's 5-star TBR predictions, my Victober 5-star TBR predictions, where I read a list of 10 Victorian books and then told you kind of what I ended up thinking of them. So I am doing a new list for the year 2023, and throughout the course of the next year, I will be reading these 10 books. And the first on the list, I've decided on these lists from here on out that there will always be a Charlotte Mary Yonge book on the list. And I have selected Dier Terrace. And the reason that I have selected this one is that I learned from the ladies at the Charlotte Mary Yonge Fellowship, there are travels to South America in this book. So anything where readers go outside of the United Kingdom, I'm automatically going to be intrigued by, and I would love to see kind of what Charlotte Mary Yonge writes it to be. There's a little bit of international traveling that happens in the air of Redcliffe, and I enjoyed those portions of it. So I will be curious what it's like. I don't really know much else about it besides that. Second on the list is a poem, and that is How Lisa Loved the King by George Eliot. So I have not really read much George Eliot poetry. I've read like 1 or 2 poems, but this is a narrative poem, and it's based, I think, on true events, true people. I could be completely making that up. I will know more after I have read it. So I'm planning on doing a individual review of each of those, and I'll let you know kind of what I think about it after I have gotten through it. Then the next one, and a very special one, and that is, if you saw my book haul that I did last month, I showed this book, Comin Through the Rye by Helen Mathers. Very hard to get a hold of, and I was lucky enough to do so. If I love this, I will be volunteering to put it on Project Gutenberg. So I will let you know if I do love it, if I think it's worth the time. If I don't love it, it won't be happening. So then the next one on the list, and I have this one here too. This is another recent acquisition, and The Runaway by Elizabeth Anna Hart. There are several 3-name authors in the Victorian era, so I'm having trouble keeping all of their names straight. This is just supposed to be a very endearing children's story and involving a runaway. And I think maybe a family that takes her in. The end papers are absolutely spectacular. So I will let you know what I think of The Runaway. The next one on the list is The Golden Age by Kenneth Grahame. And this is one that it's his reflections on childhood. I tried it a few years ago and didn't get on with it, but I also tried it at Victober, and I'm much more picky during Victober, and I'm much more tolerant outside of Victober. And I do know that both The Cloister and the Hearth and Idylls of the King are books that I put on these lists and then, had put on TBRs, tried them again later and absolutely loved them. So this is me trying again with The Golden Age. I love so much The Wind in the Willows. So I'm hoping maybe there could be something else by Kenneth Grahame that I could fall in love with. Number 6 is Beyond the City by Arthur Conan Doyle. And the main reason I want to try this is purely out of curiosity. I want to know what a kind of domestic book by Arthur Conan Doyle is. Although I will say in the synopsis, there's hints that there might be kind of mysterious elements. Nothing overt, but something about it makes me think maybe this won't be as purely as domestic as I think it's going to be. So I'll let you know kind of what it ends up being like. Then the 7th on the list is a Trollope. I think there will probably be a Trollope on all of these, and I'm going to put a standalone because I don't want pressure to get through the Palliser series in a certain amount of speed. I want it to be completely led by joy and not to feel like an obligation. So instead, I am picking The Vicar of Bullhampton. This seems to be a bit of a crowd pleaser in the standalones, and I would love to have another book by Trollope to love because The Belton Estate, I was just such a giddy girl as I was reading The Belton Estate, and I want more of that. Number 8, another one that you would have seen in the book haul. I think I'm just wanting to ensure, I guess, that I read those, and that is Fairy Tales, or The Fairy Book by Dinah, Craik. This one I have on my Victober TBR, so we'll see if I actually get to it, and then that would be one that was checked off really early in the new Victober reading year. Then number 9 is another book by Harriet Martineau. So I've only read Deer by her, and the other book is called The Crofton Boys. It seems like kind of domestic realism, and I don't know much about it other than that. It had, 19th century life as the tagline on Project Gutenberg. And I really love Deer, so I will let you know what I think of The Crofton Boys. And then last but not least, a 2-for-1 deal, and that is Birds of Prey and Charlotte's Inheritance by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. Now, this is one that I've heard when you finish Birds of Prey, which is the first, people are like, it's not really an ending at all. You have to continue. So Charlotte's Inheritance is the follow-up, and I just know that it has some very enthusiastic reviews on Goodreads. Many people will say they like it more than Lady Audley's Secret, so I will be very curious. And I haven't been reading enough Mary Elizabeth Braddon, basically. So that is my list of 5-star TBR predictions coming up for the next year. And I want to get to those. I have to say, I do have 2 titles written down here that I would also like to get to those, but I don't want to have the curse of, as soon as I verbalize them, then it will make it that I didn't want to read them. So I'm going to leave them there because they're both, I'll tell you this, they're both books that I've DNF'd, but I've been feeling like I've had enough time since I tried them, and I'd like to give them a do-over, a second chance. We'll see if I am successful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you are enjoying Victober content, and let me know if you have read any of these on the list. And I will be back with another video soon. Bye!